In our previous session, we had created a new folder inside this my app, that is API folder. We had created a folder with name as data. So inside this data, we created a class with data context.cs, which internally again it uses db context. Now we have got some errors over here. So let's solve these errors first by pressing control period. You'll be able to use this, that is using Microsoft Entity Framework Core. So by making use of this, we have got rid of these errors which are getting displayed. Now, what is the use of this DB context? Now, if you just put your mouse hover over here, you'll be able to see that a DB context instance represents a session with the database and can be used to query and save instances of your entities. So that's the reason our class, whatever we are creating over here, the data context, we are actually extending another class, that is DB context, which is provided as part of Microsoft Entity Framework Core. Now, whatever the class we created, that is data context, we have to inject in such a way that it has to be accessible throughout the application. So how we can do that? We want to inject this into other parts of the application. So we are going to make use of configure services method inside our startup.cs class. Okay, so before that we have another error over here, which you can see that app user. This is because of the entities we have not made use of, that is using api.entities. Okay, now we'll save these changes. Here you can see we have used a couple of using statements over here and we got rid of all these errors. Now we have to inject this so that it will be accessible throughout our application. So for that, let's use startup.cs class. So inside this startup.cs, we have configure services method. We are going to use this configure services method and we need to create a connection string for our database. So to do that, we have to register that here first. Okay, so let's do that now. We can make use of services dot add db context, and here we are going to pass our class name which we had created previously. What is the class which we created? That is data context. Data context. What else we have to do? We have to pass options for this. Okay, and here we are going to provide options. Inside these options, what we are going to do is we want to pass an expression as a parameter. So here we are going to use lambda expression. Okay, so options, we are going to use lambda expression over here, and inside here we are going to use those options to have the use of use SQLite. Okay, so pass connection string to use SQLite method that will connect to our database. So using these options, we can use something like this. Inside this curly brace, here we are going to use options dot use SQLite method. Okay, use SQLite method, which will take connection string. So here we are going to pass the connection string. For now, let's just pass a string over here. Next video, we'll actually pass the actual connection string over here. Okay. Now here we have to end this by making use of a semicolon. Here you can see we have a couple of errors that are getting displayed over here. Okay, so what we are actually doing is we are going to use this data context class which we can import by using api.data, and the other one is use SQLite method. This we can make use by making use of Microsoft Entity Framework Core. Okay, so the errors got resolved. Now here you can see that by making use of this connection, that is configure services method inside our startup.cs class. We need to create a connection string for our database. Okay, to do that we are passing the options over here, and sql, what we are going to do here is we are going to pass an expression as a parameter. So we are making use of this lambda expression over here. Okay, and pass connection string over here for this use sqlite method. This will actually connect to our database. Okay, by passing the actual connection string, we will see how to do that in our next video. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Please like, comment and share this video, and kindly subscribe to my channel in order to watch more videos. Click on that bell icon so that you'll start receiving notifications whenever I'm uploading a new video.